Welcome, everybody, to Mild's Culture Plate. It is Saturday, November 26th, 2022. I am your host, Mild Kevin Miles. And today we have another philosophy type stream. I'm not going to wear the robe today because this is just going to be some off the cuff shit. Hopefully, y'all enjoy this. Welcome, ladies and gentlemen, feds and degenerates. I hope you all had a lovely holiday, whether you had to spend it at work or whether you had to spend it at a soup kitchen or home with your family. I hope you found a way to make the Thanksgiving holiday special in your own certain way. I know I definitely did. I had a blast. I went to a family member's. I drank quite a bit of whiskey, as I'll show you in just a moment, and I was able to play some interesting pranks on some family members using a toy remote controlled rat. Got the ladies in the family to flip the hell out. It was quite fun. So today's whiskey, I will be drinking a little bit. I will also be kind of switching back and forth between the Mountain Dew Baja Mango, because I haven't had enough caffeine for today. I'm still trying to wake up, but I will be drinking some whiskey. Gonna be drinking the Tomstown Pendergast Gold. And as you could see, this bottle was brand new on Thanksgiving Day. And I gave a couple people a shot, but for the most part, most of that's me. Pretty good stuff. I rather enjoy it. I went to that whiskey festival, and they were one of the... Tomstown was one of the distilleries... Tomstown was one of the distilleries that was doing the tasting, and so I decided I'd get me a bottle for Thanksgiving, and I'm glad I did. Quite delicious. Quite delicious. So delicious you barely know you're slamming alcohol. I mean, it doesn't have that ethanol flavor. You know, you can smell the spice, you can smell the drunk. It's pretty good. So I'm going to give a cheers to everybody. Once again, happy Thanksgiving. Thank you for stopping by. Yeah. So, it looks like, we got a few viewers out there. Thank you for coming by. I wanted to address some things. I've seen in the past 2 days really serious, I don't know about serious, but philosophical discussion about when internet drama turns serious. And as you may or may not know, the past couple of days there have been a back and forth of videos produced by Adam Krigler and Tim Pool, in which they are airing some of the drama from back when they used to do shows together and live together. And I'm not going to be covering any of that. Let me be crystal fucking clear about that. I'm not going to be covering any of that. Not to its detail. I'm not going to hash out any drama between good old Krigler and Tim Pool, the Beanie Man. Their drama is their drama. I don't want any part of that. But between their drama and some other drama in online communities I've been in and some other drama that I've seen, it really has me thinking about the philosophy of internet drama and communities as a whole. And so I kind of wanted to do a show to preach, not necessarily preach, but to, ramble a little bit about the danger of online communities, the danger of making friends with people, the acquaintances and mixing business and pleasure and all of these things, that really expose a person's life to unnecessary drama. And I want to start out by saying that, the last show I did, I kind of ended with a what am I thankful for Thanksgiving. And I kind of rambled a little bit drunkily, but let me be clear. I'm thankful that we live in a world that you can have loved ones, that you can interact with people and communicate with people and share a little bit of yourself. Regardless of how divisive our current society is, our connectivity on the internet and our ability to recognize like-minded people within our culture and find them via internet communities or bumper stickers or however one finds someone with just a single shared belief. There's almost a deeper meaning to that ability to find people and connect with them and to be able to express one's beliefs. And I say that because, we hear about some of these school shooters, these mass shooters, and they, these young children who are picked on in school and they feel alienated and isolated. And, I feel fortunate that as isolated as I was personally in high school, I still managed to find a small knit group of friends, another few like-minded people that I was able to share my degeneracies with and vice versa, and have deep conversation and deep thought and be more than just some random person I met on the street. We were able to share in our common goals and common interest. And that's really part of what this stream is about. It's about how divisive even people close to us can be. And again, it's mostly going to be about internet drama, but, even people close to you, close in life, have the capability to produce an elevated level of drama. And there are always signs, right? There are always these little hints that things are going to go sideways. And, we as people, we like to kind of hope for the best and believe in the best in people. And sometimes they can stab us in the back. Sometimes they can betray us. But ultimately, we know who's good and bad, and those people who have the capability to produce a negative outcome generally will. And this holds true for the internet especially. So you have to be careful when joining an online community. For one, I personally want to throw this out there. I know my data is not safe, right? My online presence isn't completely hidden. I'm not hiding who I am in real life from my online presence. If someone's going to dox me, they're going to dox me. They're going to find my information. They're going to expose who I am. I'm not inviting for that to happen. I would prefer to stay on some level of anonymity. But I know it's going to happen one day. It might happen today. Because, quite frankly, what I'm doing here, talking to you folks, is the same thing we all do. We reach out, we connect, and we want to find community, and we want to engage with the greater world. And when you do that, there's a certain amount of exposure that you open yourself up to. Does that mean you're inviting harm upon yourself? No. Does that mean you should be blamed when you become a victim of someone else's predatory nature? Of course not. But that's the risk we all run just by being active human beings in a greater society. So, I say this. I don't know if I'm just kind of rambling on at this point, or if you folks are following my logical thought. People join online communities, and quite frankly, a lot of them are nervous about online harassment. A lot of them are nervous that if they're allowed to be themselves, if they're allowed to show on some level who they are in real life, that would invite them up to doxing or risk or danger. My hope is that right now I'm a fucking nobody, right? I mean, I've got this video thing that I do once a week, but for the most part, I consider myself a nobody. I don't think I'm important enough for anyone to dox. If somebody is going to swat me or send me pizzas or do something stupid, I can't stop them, right? There's nothing I can do about that. I can try to protect my data. I could try to protect my online presence, but for the most part, haters are going to hate and they're going to do things. The best I could do as a person is be the best person I could be the most genuine person I could be on stream, and then and try not to piss off huge swaths of people, because really that's what happens is we're so divided as a culture that just being yourself is going to piss off a large group of people. And just statistically, out of that large group of people, there are going to be a few people who are trolls, lawbreakers, haters, and some people might escalate things to a real serious level. So you have to be careful who you engage with, who you interact with, who you piss off. And I know I piss people off online, but I'm hoping that I'm such a small, insignificant target and that they've got so many bigger fish to fry that I think I have some minor relative level of safety at the moment. That doesn't mean I don't have a plan for if and when this channel gets bigger and my online presence grows. My nose really itches today. So I try to do a somewhat political show. I also try to do movie reviews and TV reviews. This channel isn't really about anything. I will sit here and talk to you folks about whatever is on my mind on a given day. And I'm hoping to get some feedback. Like, this has been the most frustrating thing about this channel for me, is that I share the link, I get views, and nothing against you watching this right now, but sometimes I wonder, do people agree? Do people disagree? Do people find any of this interesting? And because if I need to go a different direction, now granted, I'm being myself, so there's not much of a different direction to go. But if you all would like to see more music features, more personality features, hell, I've said several times that I eventually plan on doing a stream where I talk about my collection. And that may wind up coming Monday afternoon. But, finding content that I think other people will find interesting is the most difficult part of this broadcast. And so it's tempting. It's tempting. There are there are lots of YouTube creators and online content creators who they will make 5 to 10 minute short videos where they find the hot topic, the dramatic topic, or they'll find some quote somebody said and they'll piece it apart. Right now, I could be doing a live stream about Nick Fuentes, Kanye West, and Donald Trump. Like, that's the news story from the past couple of days. Quite frankly, I give no shits about that news story. Kanye West having a conversation with Donald Trump and them getting into a disagreement and somehow Nick Fuentes getting drug into it all. That would get fucking clicks. But quite frankly, there's no content there for me. There's nothing for me to talk about. It's just a fucking lame story. That literally it's what I just said. End of story. For me to try to drag that out for 5-10 minutes, make a short clip, put a spicy title on the video, put a bunch of hashtags. See, I don't even use hashtags, people. But I could do that. And there are tons of people on YouTube doing that. And then what happens is, then somebody else will criticize their take. And then there'll be a back and forth. And it's manufactured drama. And we've seen it in LawTube. We've seen it in LawTube with snake bites and the stuff between Bronca and Fair and Balanced. And, you know, we've seen it in LawTube. And if you're not familiar with any of those people, I don't blame you. But once somebody gets a taste of those clicks, those drama clicks, then they start seeking beef with everyone. I mean, just look at Ethan Ralph, man. He has created beef with everyone in his frickin' life. Why? Because every time he gets into another fight, more people are talking about him. Now, granted, he's burned every fucking bridge of everyone close to him except for Nick Fuentes, and that's only a matter of time. But people say his name, he gets clicks. He's more than happy to make his best friends hate him so that he could grow his audience back to some semblance of what it once was. And people do that online all the frickin' time. They will stab their best friend in the back for a few clicks, for a sponsorship deal, for a few extra dollars. And if you look at what's going on right now with Tim Pool and Krigler, I don't know. I don't know if it's about being an asshole. I don't know if it's about money. They both have made some pretty seemingly exaggerated claims about money. I don't know who's being honest and who's not. Quite frankly, I don't care. The fact of the matter is the two of them had a disagreement about the direction of business, and the two of them took their business in separate directions. I respect them. I respect them both for that. I'm not a huge fan of Tim Pool, but I respect his hustle. You have to. The man wants to put out a product, and he does. And he snags a lot of the internet that just wants to see a bunch of political drama. I couldn't talk about Donald Trump and Twitter as many hours a day as Tim Pool does. I just fucking couldn't do it. I would drive myself crazy. It would make me want to Minecraft myself. So, one has to wonder, how do people get into this situation where they begin this online presence, and it seems like they're very true to themselves for several months, maybe even several years. And then, I don't know, out of fear of losing something, it seems as though they become a less genuine version of themselves, and they feel the need to address some community view of who they are in some way that's not genuine. They issue press releases. I don't know. Quite frankly, I'm it's depressing. It's depressing trying to continue this online presence, knowing that this is what people do for clicks, knowing that this is what people do for sponsorship dollars, that they're willing to stab friends in the back, that they're willing to create drama out of thin air for clicks. And they're willing, in some cases, to encourage their audiences to harass and dox and do other things. Ladies and gentlemen, I need to take a short break. So if you could hang in there with me, I will be right back. Okay, I am terribly sorry about that, folks. No, I didn't get doxxed. There was just something crazy happening in the other room. I am back now. Oh my. And my hair is a disaster. Oh well. So, I don't know exactly where I was. I was kind of rambling a little bit about online creators and how they don't stay true to themselves. And one thing I want to bring up in context to that is content moderation online. One criticism that I have had of the whole conversation surrounding Twitter and this notion that Elon Musk wants to make a free speech platform and people are concerned that it's going to create a platform of harassment, etc., etc. And then you couple that with what had happened with Kiwi Farms and Keffels and their following, this idea that it's up to sponsors and people doing business with these platforms. And now there's this rumor that Apple and Google may delist Twitter from their app store. Whose responsibility is it to make sure random people don't do crazy shit in internet communities? This conversation seems to be a hot topic across the internet. And people attack it from different sides, different ways. They talk about Section 230. And quite frankly, ultimately the question is, it's a philosophical, societal question. It's one of the oldest questions in our society. But because it involves the internet now, people act like they are too retarded to figure it out. And by retarded, I don't mean the slur. I mean they act like there's too limited of a function to figure it out. Like the internet is this different kind of machine, and that it's not just human beings, and that because this machine is so complex, human beings could not possibly figure out the ages-old philosophical societal question about what to do with extremism, or what to do with harassment, or what to do with drama and trolls, what to do about safety. Ladies and gentlemen, the effects of online behavior is that it affects you in real life. So you treat this the same way you would in real life. You're not an authoritarian. And if you're going to be an authoritarian, understand that at some point it's a slippery slope. You can never be authoritarian enough to curb all forms of harassment and all forms of criticism ever. It's not possible. So you have to draw a line somewhere. And then that line, the question becomes, why that line? Why specifically there and not 1 inch further? Why this language and not this word? Why this word and not this word? Why are you banning this and not that? And then a lot of these online these online communities, and again, this fucking word community, I will, in case you have not heard me give the speech before, I'm going to do it again. The whole point of a community is so that you can kick people out of a community. Communities are the worst fucking thing. Like, that is literally the only reason to have a community, is so that you can kick people out of the community. If there's an in group, then there's an out group. And someone's doing the fucking gatekeeping. So either you have the door for everyone and everything, you have that door open and honest and sun shining on it, or you have a knob and a lock on that door. I'm not telling people to keep their homes unlocked. I'm not that insane. But an online community should be, for lack of a better term, all-inclusive. Have block buttons, have people with the ability to escape, which you've always got the ability to escape an online community, right? You could delete your account, you could turn the computer off, you can walk away from someone harassing you on the internet. When they've moved into real life, then you have to take real life safety precautions, which you should already be doing before you even step into an online arena, because whatever happens online does not stay online. What happens in Vegas does not stay in Vegas, no matter how many commercials you've watched. What happens on the internet does not stay on the internet. People like to believe, especially the predators and pedos, they think they can get away with doing creepy shit on the internet because it's the internet and it's not real life. Well, those people find out. They fuck around and find out. So, again, back to content moderation. There are certain people on YouTube that have banned certain words from their chat. And they have armies of moderators to make sure people don't use spicy language. And people don't talk about whatever topic you're talking about in a meaningful fucking way. Everything has to have this Hollywood fucking gloss over it, where we're superficial, where it's this country club women's group way of everyone has beautiful hair. Your hair's beautiful today, honey. Whether you fucking think it is, you just feel obliged to say it because that's literally the only thing you can say, because you can't be real with these fucking people. And if that's your version of an online community, is to have armies of moderators saying, "Ooh, we don't allow that kind of behavior in this establishment." Look, you have the freedom to operate your YouTube channel. You have the freedom to operate your locals chat. You have the freedom to operate your subreddit, your Discord. You're free to operate and moderate those things within the terms of service in any fucking way you want. I'm not calling for you to have your rights taken away or your freedom to moderate taken away. But at some point, you're bullshit. You're bullshit. You exist. And honestly, I think that this is why those people get so authoritarian, so that when somebody comes and stirs the fucking pot a little bit, it looks all that more fucking extreme. Right? And then you could clutch your pearls about it and be like, and then all of a sudden it creates more fucking drama and more fucking people talking about it. And might bring a few more clicks to your channel. Who fucking cares, man? They're not gonna stick around because you're fake. You got to be genuine. I don't care if it's the internet. You create a little buffer on the internet between your real life and your personal life and your online presence. Create a little buffer because it's none of your business who my family members are. It's none of your business who I work with. They're not on this channel. See, like Nick Rekieta will sometimes stream with his wife. They've consented to being part of the community. My family members aren't here. They haven't consented. And yeah, there may be one wacko, one weirdo out there one day that may track them down, find out who they are, start messaging them online. But ultimately, why? Who gives a shit? Who gives a shit who's in my life? They don't know what I do here. I mean, some do. Some laugh at it. Some don't understand it. And that's fine. This is my thing. You're my audience. And I don't mean that in an ownership way. I mean that in, it's my identity on the line here. It's my sanity that I'm fucking, chasing around the internet. So the idea that these people are offended when you bring up their family, when they will happily mention their family on a live stream, but they've created these rules, right? They've created these authoritarian rules where you can't mention their family even though they can. They've created off-limits topics that you can't talk about and you can't bring up. You can't share other people's content. All these lists of rules that you can't do on some of these YouTube channels because, well, it's disruptive. It's disruptive. It's harassing. And we can't have harassing and disruptive people on the internet. Ladies and gentlemen, I've been on the internet since 1997. One of the first things I saw on the internet was a dead body. A dead body that someone had posted in an HTML chat room. People have been internet trolls my whole life. And you know what? That's one of the most beautiful things about the internet, is as much as you try your damnedest to control the uncontrollable, people will find a way to be assholes in the most hilarious ways. The internet will be spurgs. They will find your docs. I know I'm not safe. I'm not safe from being doxxed. Hopefully nobody gives enough of a shit about me to want to swat me or send a bunch of fucking pizzas to my house. Hopefully nobody gives that much of a shit. But quite frankly, the more you try to stay private, the more you try to fight online trolls, the more rewarding the prize is for them to overcome whatever you throw at them. Remember the "He will not divide us" flag? They had to move it 4 times, I think 5 times. At one point it was behind walls. They used the geo-positioning of the stars and the sounds of planes moving through the fucking sky to determine flight patterns and the damn stars in the sky, and found They found the "He will not divide us" flag. Never underestimate the power of the internet to harass you. I'm hoping I don't piss them off that bad. I'm going to piss off somebody. But quite frankly, nobody's perfect, right? We've all got skeletons in our closet. I've got parts of my life that I am not proud of. They are things that I'm willing to be honest about and talk about, maybe at a future date, if I need to. But quite frankly, I've grown since my younger days. I'm a different person now. So I don't feel the need to talk about who I was at age 20. There was a time in my life where I probably would have slept with your wife. Yep. Would have had no qualms about it. I mean, let me be clear, I still don't have a philosophical reason not to. But I'm just not that kind of man whore anymore. And I don't want to enable shitty behavior in women. But quite frankly, who I was back then, I'm not proud of, and I don't really feel like having multiple conversations about who I was. And so the people that want to dig into my past and bring skeletons out of my closet, they don't concern me. There are reasons I don't talk about who I am and who I was, because this is who I am now. But quite frankly, I'm not hiding. I'm here to have honest, open conversations with my audience, because hopefully you find some of this shit entertaining. Hopefully, at some level, I'm just the asshole you were looking for when you were scrolling through YouTube. Because there's one thing I refuse to be. I refuse to be an overly marketed, public relations, glossed over, sugar-coated version of who I am. I'm gonna be fucking honest, and I'm gonna make mistakes. And I know you will too. Whoever you are, there are things you will say on the internet that you may not realize is a piece of information the internet shouldn't have. And you shouldn't have to be afraid of that. Right? We do our best. We do our best to separate who we are from who we are. But once in a blue moon, we make mistakes. And I don't think people should have to live in fear for a mistake or two. Because quite frankly, I think for the most part, the people who get doxxed, the people who get swatted, the people who have people showing up to conventions and harassing them in person, those people have grown so big that they've pissed off entire swaths of the internet, right? They've become so important in the cultural battle that they're a general. They're a war figure. I don't think I'm that now. I don't think I'm gonna be that anytime soon. I'm hoping I'm flying just under the radar. But those people, most of the people who get swatted, they've grown big enough to where they're a target. And there's a certain level of responsibility with that. If you're big enough to be a target, then you're big enough to be able to protect yourself. And if you've become a target and you're not big enough to protect yourself, if you become a target of internet assholery, if you've become a target of online trolls, then either A, you've revealed too much about yourself, or B, you've tried to control what you couldn't and provoked the trolls. And that's the most important part of this conversation, is don't go around trying to provoke the trolls. Trying to say, well, we need to ban more people. Who the fuck are you? Who the fuck are you to come online in somebody else's house and say, oh, more people need to be banned? I legitimately saw a message like that this morning. And it angered me because it was in a forum known for its free speech. You're literally coming in and breaking the house rules because you're concerned with other people breaking society's rules. No. Nay, if someone would to be banned, it would be the person calling for the ban, because you're the one who doesn't belong. But we don't have gatekeepers here. So you're welcome to continue to preach your absurd fucking bullshit and look like a fucking tool. And the rest of us will troll you and ridicule you and tell you exactly who the fuck you are. And rightly so. Because internet trolls aren't going anywhere. And if you're going to be a dipshit online, like I've been a dipshit online in the past, you're gonna fucking get roasted. And either you can handle the fire on that spit roast, or you're gonna try to weasel off of that rack and run away. But one thing you're not going to do is bully the public because you're too sensible for degeneracy. That will make you a target 99 times out of 10,000. And so that's when the news stories come in of the internet has been harassing this woman. Yeah, that's because that woman stepped into a bear cave and started spraying her piss everywhere to piss the bears off. And that's what our modern culture loves to do. Is rile up the internet and then make a big news story about how the internet's all riled up. Hey y'all, there's going to be a woman James Bond, and that's the only thing we're going to tell you about James Bond. And then 3 months later, why is everybody talking about a woman James Bond? Y'all must be sexist. No. Fuck you, show media. This is the reason people fucking hate journalists. And of course, they've came out again this week, you know, a whole series of the same old fucking talking heads came out this week talking about how horrible Johnny Depp is for appealing the 2 million verdict, you know, with Amber Heard's win of the little 2 million verdict, and how she should have won the whole time, and there's, you know, more hit pieces, more Johnny Depp hit pieces. I'm not covering Johnny Depp shit on this channel, but it's the fucking media, the shill fucking media, that is willing to lie to you as if you couldn't go to Nick Rekieta's channel or fucking Law and Cuck or Court TV or every other LawTube channel on the internet and go back and watch the Johnny Depp Amber Heard trial and figure out who the fuck was lying for your own goddamn eyes. Nope, it's just, we're back to believe all women. We're back to, women just get to say whatever they want about men and not the other way around. And if you don't, then if you don't allow Amber Heard to lie, then that means other women might get beat and not be believed. Same old bullshit, same old lies, same old, you're the harassers, not us. Even though the media is the one crying harassment and saying, oh, look who's doing it. It's the same people. Look, if you're a mainstream normie, if you're part of the middle left and you're still falling for this shit, if you're part of the mainstream, if you're a Republican Party donor, I mean, just any of these people, if anyone, again, if you're a normie and you're still falling for the kind of bullshit that they continue to perpetrate, if you really think that fans have a problem with this movie because there's a black character, oh no, the mermaid is black, I'm going to be a racist on the internet. No, nobody did that. The people that did that are what we call bait. They're there to stir up drama and clicks so that one person says something racist and then they see the reaction that you have, and so 3 more people will join in on the fun. So then it looks like there's a whole community of bigots that just want to hate your movie because the actress is black. No, they're what we call internet trolls. And you're feeding the trolls. And then when the only thing you have to say about your movie, when your entire trailer doesn't really show off what's good about your movie, then this is the only thing people can say about your movie. And that's what's going to get echoed. That's what's going to get amplified. You got a good superhero movie coming up? Show me the plot. Show me the CGI. Show me the special effects. Show me the characters interacting in a very personal and real fucking way. Don't show a bunch of shitty shots of spaceships shooting at each other and then present the diverse character standing tall like a hero and that be your entire marketing. You're going to draw out the trolls and the harassers. Anyway, I haven't been drinking my whiskey. There's 5 minutes left of the stream. I don't know what I'm going to cheers to here. I guess cheers to the real media. People who aren't afraid to get on YouTube and call out a movie for what it is. Shit. Regardless of the race of the characters or the diversity or the political message of the movie, they're willing to get on the internet and say, no, this movie is shit. So cheers to those people, Geeks and Gamers, Nerdrotic, and all these other channels that aren't afraid for the same old fucking people to call them a bigot for telling the truth about shitty action movies. So all in all, why do people Why are there internet trolls? Why do they exist? Why do people get online with the goal to harass somebody? Why do people get on here and they see something about somebody? And let me be completely fucking honest. I've trolled someone just today because, quite frankly, I found their story of superiority and normalcy bullshit, and I fucked with them enough until they gave up a little more information, and then I said, yeah, see, it is your fault. Fuck you. It's what you got to do to people when they're not being genuine. I myself am a troll, and this is why trolls exist. Because when you go on the internet and you're not being a genuine person, when you act all high and mighty, for example, the whole tits or get the fuck out thing. I don't know if you all have seen the 4chan meme from back in the day, but it's like this idea that nobody's a man or woman on the internet. We're all anonymous unless you're not. And then once you're not anonymous, you have to wonder, well, why are you giving us this identifying factor about yourself? It's because you want us to believe that you're special in some way that you don't need to be anonymous. Same way, same thing. If you come on the internet and you're acting like there's something fucking special about you that makes you different than the trolls and the incels and the anonymous people, you want to act like you're fucking above them. How the fuck do you think that makes other people feel? You want to act like you have some moral superiority because you've never been divorced. Or some moral superiority because no one's ever cheated on you. Or some moral superiority for your gender or your sexual identity. Because you lift weights and you're a Chad. Somebody will find the one fucking thing you're insecure about. The one fucking thing that you wish hadn't happened in your life. Your mom passed away. Very unfortunate. No one. It happens to every human being on the planet almost. And it's one of the worst things someone should go through. My own mother has passed away. One of the worst things that ever happened to me in my life was saying goodbye to my mother. But if you act like a fucking superior asshole, like you're better than everyone else, you get on the internet and act like you're better than everyone else, people will find that one fucking thing that bothers you. They'll do whatever it takes. They'll dig it out of you. And they will rub your nose in it like a dog that just shit on the carpet. Because that's all we are. When we're on the internet, we're just dogs shitting all over the place. And hoping that the other dogs like the smell of our butt. We're hoping that we can bond with people. We're hoping that we can find some sense of community. And again, I hate that fucking word because of the out group. Because of the gatekeeping. But if you can find a community that doesn't gatekeep, fucking cling to that shit. And if somebody's shitting all over your community that's not gatekeeping, if somebody, and again, I hate the fucking word, your online space. If someone's shitting on your space and you're not trolling them, you're not making them feel like a piece of shit for it, you're not doing your due diligence. And I don't mean gatekeep. I just mean on some level, it's got to be anarchy. You know, you got to say, hey, there's got to be consequences, but without consequences. It's you can handle being made fun of or not, and you could either toughen up or leave. And so if you're the type that can be tough and withstand the shit, good. But it's not genuinely the types who are superiority complex motherfuckers who can handle the muck, who can handle the insults, the harassment. It's the people who have been through real shit. It's the people who understand what real shit is. It's the people who have lived through tragedy that knows some rando on the internet calling me an F slur has no power over me. So that's my passing message to you folks. I'm going to give you an extra couple of minutes just because my little break I had to take earlier. That's my passing message to you until Monday afternoon. Find ways to just be like, I'm not the shit. Just go into whatever online forum you're used to going into. And if somebody starts telling you their story, listen to it. And ask yourself, are they bullshitting me or not? And if they're genuinely telling you something from the heart, find a way to connect with them. And if they're bullshitting you, find a way to make them apologize for bullshitting. It's our duty. It's our duty to be fucking weirdos. So, if y'all be a fucking weirdo, do me a favor. There's a thumbs up button below. If you can give it a click, I would really fucking appreciate it. Looks like we've got a number of clicks already. We got 9 likes and 10 views. Thank you for coming by. Definitely give me some feedback. Leave me a comment below. Tell me how I'm wrong. Tell me how this topic sucked and you wished I would have talked about Star Wars or something. Because, yeah, I might, again, that Andor show was so fucking boring. But I keep hearing people say they like it. Not people in my circle, but that might be coming. I don't know. I've also tried to start watching Thor: Love and Thunder, and oh my god, it's bad. It's really fucking bad. But there will be more reviews coming. There will be more interesting topics coming. Let me know down in the comments if there's something you would like me to review. If there's something you'd like me to talk about, we could talk top movies or whatever, horror movies. My favorite of the comic book films. We could do a whole number of topics. Just let me know what you would like to see. Let me know in the chat or in the comments below. Come back. I'm not sure what time I'm going to be doing a show on Monday, but it's most likely going to happen at this point. But Wednesday, 7 p.m., next Saturday, 4 p.m., and that's Central Time every week, Wednesday and Saturday. Like, share, subscribe, hit the bell for notifications, and come back, chat with me. And as we enter the holiday season, spread love. Most importantly, spread love. I don't care if everyone fucking hates you. Find a way not to be desperate, but to be genuinely interested in another person's story. Just for a minute. Listen to somebody. Take care of each other. And don't get any on you. If you do, rub it in real good. See you next time on Mild's Culture Plate. Peace.